Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's see if we can get any kind of update on the status of the gold standard and how Putin's doing with convincing people that using rubles to buy his gas is the best option. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button, because when you do, it helps us get past the YouTube algorithm that does a great job of suppressing a lot of YouTubers' contents that they don't agree with. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Right now, your best option to get out of the system is to buy gold and silver, or any other precious metals as far as that is concerned. And when you go to buy your precious metals, go check out our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free ½ ounce of silver. So here we go. I'm anticipating this starting off slowly, and then you're going to see a lot of countries do exactly what Hungary is doing. Don't be surprised if Putin offers oil at such a discount that it makes it almost impossible for people to turn away. Right now, he's just dealing with his normal customers demanding that they pay in rubles. Let's see how that goes. We're a few weeks away from everybody's dues coming up. We'll know a whole lot more by then. But as you can see, breaking ranks with EU. Hungary says ready to pay the Russian gas in rubles. Budapest, London. Hungary said on Wednesday it was prepared to pay rubles for Russian gas, breaking ranks with the European Union, which has sought a united front in opposing Moscow's demand for payment in the currency. Already you have one country breaking ranks. Let's see how other countries fare against Russia's demands, especially if your country relies on so much of their oil. I could see where people try a united front and they resist, and it goes on for a little while if they have another option where to go. But I also could see Putin will say fine and then drop the price of oil down so low. It's going to be really hard for other countries to say no. Hungary will pay for shipment in rubles if Russia asks it to, the Prime Minister Viktor Orban told a news conference on Wednesday in reply to Reuters' question. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned Europe it risks having gas supplies cut unless it pays in rubles, as he seeks retaliation over Western sanctions for Moscow's excursion of Ukraine. With weeks to go before bills are due, the European Commission has said that those with contracts requiring payments in euros or dollars should stick to that. Hungary's Foreign Minister Peter Zozarto earlier said that EU authorities had no role to play in its gas supply deal with Russia, which was based on a bilateral contract between units of Hungarian state-owned MVM and of Gazprom. The European Commission does not comment on declarations from national authorities, a spokesperson said. Hungary has been one of the few EU member states that have rejected energy sanctions against Moscow in response to the invasion, which Russia terms a special military operation. Orban, whose government has pursued close business relations with Moscow over a decade, swept to power for a 4 consecutive term in elections on Sunday, partly on a pledge to preserve security of gas supplies for Hungarians' households. While Putin's demand has raised heckles in many of Europe's capitals, its governments, which on average rely on Russia for more than a third of their gas, are discussing the issues with energy companies. I tell you what, with everything going on, between trade wars and this little issue right here, the number one thing that people should learn is your country should do most of its own supplies. Seriously, if you have an opportunity to produce energy, then you should do it yourself. You should stop outsourcing products being made in China or medicines being made in China, because then you fall victim to any kind of retaliation that they have. We saw that happen with China, which actually produces about 95% of our medicines. On Monday, Slovakia said it will act in unison with the EU, while Poland's dominant gas company, PGNiG, has maintained that its original contract with Gazprom, which expires at the end of the year, is binding on both parties. Austria's OMV and Russia's Gazprom have had initial contacts about paying for gas in rubles, a spokesperson for OMV said on Friday, though the government in Vienna said that there is no bias for payments in any currency other than euros and dollars. The Ukraine's foreign minister insists an embargo on Russian gas and oil is needed, but the European Union has so far stopped short while preparing to propose a ban on coal imports and other products. Yeah, see, Russia was prepared for all this. They got people so relying on them and locked into contracts, and especially when you got the Europe relying so much on the gas from Russia. A third of its gas supply, that's really bad. The European Commission intentions that there should be some kind of common response from countries importing from Russian gas was not considered necessary. Hungary said, adding that nations had individually signed bilateral contracts, and no one has a say on how we modify our own contracts. Hungary, which is heavily reliant on Russian gas and oil imports, signed a new long-term gas supply deal last year under the Gazprom. Is expected to ship 4.5 billion cubic meters of gas annually. Meanwhile, Putin has discussed expanding Moscow's economic cooperation with Belgrade, including in the energy sector, with the Siberian counterpart Alexander Volchik. Siberia's contract for Russia gas expires on May 31st. Talks about the new contract need to be launched as soon as possible. Latvia, largest gas trader, which is a third owned by Gazprom, said it is considering whether it should pay in euros or rubles for Russian gas, but Lithuania foreign minister spokesperson said Latvia does not support paying in rubles and there has to be a common EU approach. Yeah, I think these people are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They might be able to get away with this kind of boycott temporarily, but long term, they're just going to falter. Especially once the other countries start jacking up the cost of oil because they can. Lithuania said it will no longer import Russian gas to meet its domestic needs, becoming the first country in Europe to have secured its independence from Russian supplies. Russia gas deliveries to Europe via 3 key pipeline routes were broadly steady overall on Wednesday. So are these boycotts going to work? I doubt it. They might have a temporary fix, but long term, it's not going to help at all. Not at all. Putin knows what he's doing. He's a sly fox. Like I said, these people might start off this way, but eventually he's going to lower the price of oil so low that other countries are going to have a hard time saying no when other countries are jacking up their price altogether. Anyways, it will affect gold because he is in the gold standard somewhat. And he had a deadline of June 30th. We'll see what happens when June 30th rolls around. I think that's when you're really going to see fireworks go. Anyways, that's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.